All right, moving on. For this week's regular portfolios, I spoke to someone younger than me, someone who's recently started trading Forex of all things. So he's doing it full time. It's going to be an interesting clip here in a second. But first, two important things here. Those are not experts, okay? This is called regular portfolios. Those are regular folks who just do with their money whatever they please. The unfortunate reality is that most of us will lose money over the long run. And so if there's any value in this conversation, that would be the minimal entertainment value, but nothing more. Okay, you're not supposed to listen to any people for that matter. But just so you know, none of them is pretending or claiming to be an expert. They're just normal folks sitting down with me for a regular talk about their investment / gambling strategies. And second, if you're one of those regular folks who want to chat to me for some reason, please send me an email at antonio@researchtalks.com, and we'll make it happen. All right, let's listen to the Forex trader on here. All right, Jacob. You told me a little bit about yourself off mic, but let's do this again. Tell me, who are you? Where are you calling from today? What do you do for a living? Just who are you?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm I guess, kind of full-time Forex trader / investor. I also code. So I make machine learning algorithms and stuff for the stock market and all of that type of stuff for trading and investing. Yeah, and I'm from Canada, West Coast. I'm 23 years old, still live in my parents' basement. They've been kind enough to let me live here for free. So yeah, pretty nice. I can keep the expenses low. And yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
I'm 27, and my mom and my dad decorated my wall. So
Hey, it's looking nice.
And that's their second room. I got upgraded from the basement to the room. I'm just kidding. They never had a basement because it's an apartment. So I guess I feel you there. It's no, it's nice on the cost savings and stuff like that. So which one do you prefer? You're coding, you're full-time trader. You told me you do Forex. Well, which one, like if you could have it your way, which profession would you go if money was not an issue?
Probably Forex trading with my code, because I really enjoy coding. And if you make a killer bot, that's that's what quant firms do and stuff.
Is that a thing? I get those messages. Like, do those work? Like, are there bots that make you? I get all these messages and spams in my box. Like, this bot can make you $5,000 a day. But I don't. Does that work?
I wouldn't trust that. The good ones are used by, they're not going to be rented out to the public. They're going to be created for like a hedge fund or something. Or, let's say that you have a lot of capital, you're an investor, and maybe I want to work with you. I code like a really good bot, and then we have some kind of agreement, right? Based on percentages, because, this game's all about percentages. So yeah, you wouldn't rent it out. I'd probably stay away from those ones. There might be a few that could work, but yeah, it's a little more in depth.
In general, yeah. Those are obvious scams. Like, there's always typos, and like the sentence starts with not with a capital letter, stuff, silly stuff like that. But you can see that they're obviously not great. So I never really go into those. But I was just thinking about bots. It's almost like putting yourself out of work, isn't it? Like, I mean, if you're a full-time trader, you make a bot that works, but that's probably going to be worth more money. Is that the future? Like, do you see the future being just bots doing algo stuff?
Yeah, I feel like there's already a lot of that going on right now. Like, you can see when it's happening sometimes in the markets. Like, for example, I'll be able to identify where like a bank has a position in like Forex, and as like, even like, no matter what time of day it is, no matter what's going on in the market, if it reaches that level, you can see the algorithms kind of reacting to that. And I'm assuming it's that bank's algorithms that are kind of defending that. But yeah, it's you can pick up on little signs. They're already using them. So I think it's definitely the present and maybe more so the future even. Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of there's a lot of talks about that, especially when it comes down to uranium. Like some of the guys on Twitter joke about it. Like Uranium Corgi was doing a campaign where he was tweeting bearish things on uranium in the hopes to confuse the bots. I don't know if that worked.
Nice.
I haven't asked him. I don't think it did. It was confusing for me at the time. Most things are. Do like you trade full time, but then you also have money to the side invested. How do you manage that? Like, is most of your money invested, or do you use most of your money for your trading account?
Yeah, so that'll be, I guess, a segue into my portfolio structure, I guess.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I was just wondering if you like if you took all of the money in the world that you have, or the complete net worth, and you split it. What sort of split between your trading account and your long term or medium term, whatever investments, stuff that you call investments?
Yeah, sure. Well, because I do trade for a prop firm, that money is like it's in there. I can't take it out no matter what. It's someone else's money, right? So I always have the capital to trade with no matter what, even if I don't have any of my personal money in there. So I potentially could, just invest all of my money and use the trading as kind of a stream of income to put into investments.
So you get paid like a percentage of the profit that you make or something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly. It's a percentage. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. However, currently I have about 35% of my overall net worth, I guess, in my trading accounts. So, and I just kind of mirror the trades that I do on the prop firm with my account as well.
Okay. So you can combine that. Okay, that's nice that that's allowed. It makes sense. Is that 35%? That's basically, so it's sort of sitting like it's very liquid and like it's mostly sitting in cash. I guess you don't keep trades overnight, right?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, you do. Okay, so that's 35% is in those accounts. What about the rest? What's the rest invested in?
Yeah. All right. So this is pretty rough. I've also since I focused mostly on my trading and like learning and everything recently because I'm still 23. I don't I want to be a trader, right? So most of my time and effort goes into my trading, but yeah, I have kind of tweaked all these percentages a little bit. They're not exact, but I'll just kind of give them to you. So basically 15% of my portfolio is short broad market ETFs. Some of that is leveraged using like SQQQ. I'm also in like RWM, for example, SH, basically just ETFs to short like the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. And I'm doing that because, obviously bear market, yield curves, all this stuff, I watch way too much YouTube, your channel a lot included. And then, yeah, 35% in cash, and I'm trading FOREX and I trade oil on my account, not on my prop account. And that's nice because with that 35% in cash, I can catch, upside and downside on the dollar, and, how that moves, it affects the market and everything. But no matter what, I'm actually making money with that. I'm also 10% ish long precious metals, so like gold and silver, 25% long uranium. Also, I'm 5% long like other energy. This one I've been kind of scaling out. So I was long oil before it did the whole big move. And then I started scaling out when, the news was all like, oh, hey, oil is the best investment ever. Like we're so short on oil, blah, blah, blah. That's when I started scaling out because, buy with the rumors, sell with the news. It actually does work. Can confirm. Also 5% long real estate and scaling out. So since I don't have enough money to put, 5% won't buy me a house of my net worth. I'm just using REITs. And yeah, I've been scaling out of those though, because I believe that a financial accident is going to happen, and then I can probably get in cheaper.
Mm.
And then 5% long copper and scaling in. And this is mostly what I'm putting my cash into now is copper. Not like right now, but as it's going down, I'm slowly starting to accumulate it. And when we get into this recession or depression or whatever is going to happen here, I've never been through one in my life. So this is a learning experience for me, first time. But I'm thinking of going into copper pretty heavily just because of the whole supply demand deal. Actually, it's mostly on the supply side because the countries that supply it are pretty there's a lot of jurisdictional risk, I guess, in a lot of them, or political risk maybe would be a better word for that. And yeah, the supply is kind of drying up and we use it for everything. Right? Like electric cars, which is, I don't think people should be so focused on in the investing space. Electric cars, it's just, a mode of transportation that's not really, like, not everyone's going to have it until maybe a long time in the future. But we use it for everything, like everything that has to do with electricity or technology pretty much uses copper. And yeah, that's why I would be scaling into copper.
Okay. So it's a very interesting portfolio. First of all, you should really be careful with my channel guiding you. This is not necessarily a disclaimer or anything along those lines. I'm also not trying to joke, but the thing is that obviously I'm not guiding because I never tried to guide because I don't even know what I'm doing myself. My portfolio really sucks. I think yours might even be better, but the people that I have on, they're mostly there to sort of advertise their product. Like they don't necessarily want to make you money instantly. So you should be very careful with that. Following that, I guess getting ideas might be okay, but you should really be doing more research. I trust that you do. I mean, you seem like an analytical person, so I hope that you are. A couple of notes there on your portfolio because it is interesting. The main thing is that you're short the broad market. Like what I'm thinking is, why would you short the broad market while being long uranium and copper? So you mentioned copper is not that big of a part of your portfolio, is 5%. You mentioned that you would scale in if you see a recession, but you said I'm shorting the market because you expect something to happen. You mentioned the yield curve. I'm not sure how much the yield curve still works, but I know a lot of people use it as a tool, so it might be helpful. But if you think that the broad market is gonna crash, uranium stocks appear to be more or less a levered bet on the NASDAQ, if you will. It's not exactly that way. What I mean is that they're still coupled to the broad market. They're still coupled to risk on equities. So if you think that something bad is going to happen in the economy, risk on equities are, logically they should be suffering the most. So how did you come up with the strategy? Is it a hedge? Like, are you expecting to lose one part of that portfolio, or like how do you look at it?
Yeah, honestly, it is pretty much a hedge. Like, that's all I'm using it for. It's just because I don't have enough time right now to basically go into my portfolio every single day and, trade my TFSA as I do with like my Forex, right? So I can't be looking at my portfolio all the time. And I kind of have it as like a longer term investment. So like a buy and hold type mindset, where I'll update it, maybe once a month. Right. So the way I have it structured right now, I did that because I basically want to be flat because I don't know what's going to happen. And then my trades can basically capture the upside of any large move. While my long-term investments, I keep what I want. If the market goes up, I make a little bit of money. If the market goes down, I make a little bit of money. So that's basically how I have it weighted right now. I've just been constantly kind of trickling upwards and it's working. So I'm keeping it. for a while, for a while.
Right, right. Have you ever considered doing something like Lobo Tigre has given me the idea. I haven't done anything like that myself, so I'm pretty much playing 4D chess with my eyes closed in the dark. So I don't really know how it works. But Lobo, I think, sells puts. He started doing that recently on natural resource companies that he would want to own. So have you ever tried? I mean, have you ever tried options? Do you use that in your portfolio?
I actually have never traded options. I think I got sucked into the whole GME and AMC or whatever hype, and that was like the first time I purchased a call option, and I lost pretty bad. So yeah, I haven't looked into options trading yet. I've been focusing on futures and everything, but I do think that's a really smart idea. He could be onto something, or he definitely is onto something, right? But yeah, I wouldn't do that because personally I don't have enough free capital right now, and also yeah, I don't really want to mess with options yet until I really know what I'm doing.
You also mentioned that you have some gold and silver there. Is that physical, or is that with the physical ETFs? Is it equities? What do you do with that?
Actually, all of the above, all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some. I guess I took inspiration from a guy named VP, uh, another YouTuber, kind of like yourself. And
I know VP. He does
he,
Forex too, right?
yeah, he shouted you out. He's actually how
Yeah.
I found your channel.
Yeah, I know VP.
Yeah. So yeah, I do the whole offense defense kind of play. I don't know if you know about that, but I have my personal precious metals that are like safe in, I have some here, right? Some gold here, some silver and stuff at my house. VP stores his like with people. I don't do that yet. But I have that. I have, ETFs for the physical metals. I have mining companies as well for like more of an offensive play. And then I also have like ETFs for mining companies too. So like I think GDXJ,
Hmm.
um, stuff like that. Yeah.
There's a lot. How do you keep track of all that? Like I have 20 stocks and I'm incredibly overwhelmed. I'd probably want to take it down to a lot less than that. How do you keep track of all that?
Yeah. I don't really. If I like a company and I'm looking to, change up my portfolio, I'll just start scaling into these companies, and then I won't touch them until it's time to get out of whatever it is. So I don't really need to, or I probably should, but I don't currently like look at every single report from every one of the companies that I'm in and all that stuff, right? I'm more focused on other things. And I just find that this balance in my portfolio allows me to kind of do that and have that freedom.